Want the real stuff, everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all the art, it's my only medicine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, the NTR and HCK Dirt Series takes it all the way up to Knoxville. You know, this has been a pretty interesting series so far. HCK's up actually though, 5-1. So we've got some spam crap in the chat. No, we don't want Uber Eats. Yeah, eats, but don't swallow. Yeah, let's kick you out of here real quick. I do apologize for everything else. Bye-bye. And right out. Sorry about that. Right now, we have got about 7 out on the field practicing right now with Kel Tarbell, who has been on a streak here these past few weeks. He's got that scorecard 64 rolling pretty good. Him and Austin Johnson from Nicholas, Georgia. And I believe, if I'm not looking right, that's a pretty nice PGA. Fitless, that's how you say it. But a good golf brand. So right now we've got them two are the only two that's out there on the field, and we have got about 5 minutes before qualifying and heat races start up. So we are going to just sit back, relax for a little bit, and wait for that green flag to drop for that qualifying. are less than 10 seconds. Are we going to drop the qualifying and see how everybody's going to play it out tonight? Pretty interesting of a feature tonight. NTG definitely needs to get it done. Richard, you out there? We appreciate it. Know you're packing before you hit that cruise. You're going to be some Lonely Island boys saying you own a boat. But right now, we're going to be riding with Austin Johnson, as he is out there qualifying. Johnson's been a pretty influential force there. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to play it out. The race tonight is brought to you by HCK Eagles. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. It looks like Brad Clay on that first lap around was able to drop a 17.3. We have not seen the likes of Cale, Andrew, or Joe Robert out there yet. They should be putting down pretty good times, as they have been the workhorses for both leagues in this series. Is holding it pretty steady with the 17.2. Well, take that back. Austin Johnson dropped the 17.27. That's going to put Brad Clay in second with the 17.32. But there is about few that have not ran yet, as Joe Robert is getting ready to turn his first lap. He is running that high side very close. You see that right front tire ease up off the ground just a little bit. And did you know he gets some momentum? And not the time he wanted on first lap. He's only at 17:48. Austin Johnson and Brad Clay both are sitting at a 17:27. Joe Roberts not getting the run he wanted, it don't look like. Mark Collins locked in P4. Qualifying, we've got Andrew Hansley in the fourth out there right now, and I'm pretty sure he's got his fans out there watching and listening tonight as he's rolling in that 24 Pepsi. The unicorn threw up on his car. Well, the unicorns are cool. And I don't know if the unicorn vomit's very cool. And right there is the man that we are going to watch, Mr. Cale. See what kind of time he put down. Expect him to be in the top 3. That first lap is looking like a pretty good one. And that is going to put Cale up on point with the 17.22. That was very much expected, as you have got your 4 strong ones starting right there in the front of Cale, Austin, Brad, and Joe. Them will be the 4 to watch tonight. Right now we've got Josh Bittner out there. He is putting his laps in, seeing where he's going to end up with. He was setting at a 17:42 on his first one, and that looks like where he is going to be on the qualifying. The qualifying's got about 45 seconds left. Miss Carol Hansley out there saying, hammer down, Andrew. We got about 15-30 seconds left before heat starts, so we're going to take a quick shout out to an admin box. If you need a button box, look them up. All right, it looks like with heat 1, ooh, we're going to have, starting up front, it's going to be Kale in the 64. On the outside of him is going to be Brad Clay. Mark Collins is going to take P3 position. Derek Welch is going to take P4. The 24 of Andrew Hansley is going to be sitting in P5. And rounding out the first heat is going to be the 76 of Michael Hicks. We are waiting for them to load up into the field. As I am expecting a battle right here between Kale and Brad, both. They are from HCK, I do believe, and then you have got Mark and Derek from NTG, and Hensley, he is HCK. Michael Hicks, I'm not 100% sure. I think he may be rolling with HCK, so this is a pretty HCK strong heat right here. A Georgia boy. I knew which one it was, I just had to get to him. Kale has got the accent, puts mine to shame, and it is awesome having him in the booth. But as the pace truck's getting ready to drop him down as he's easing up, you can see they're back there getting ready. You're going to have Kale and Brad. They are going to have a battle going out. Dead last. Well, there's a whole lot more that goes on this channel. You got to catch it more. But it was not going to be a near as long race as a dirt race last night while I was watching.
Green, green, green.
It's going to jump, and it looks like Kale is going to get a good jump. 31 of Brad Clay kind of stumbled on that restart. There it goes. Mark Collins is going to take that position. That gap, but he is not letting Brad Clay gain on him any at all. They have pretty much settled in. There is 7 to go on this, and Derek Welch is showing he just wiped out. And he is in the pit having the coach. Kale and Clay battling it out. Half a second between each other. Collins is 2.5 seconds behind Kale. Michael Hicks is going to be running P4 with Andrew Hansley rounding out your top 5. As we expected, this is pretty much going to be a Kale domination. But Brad is slowly losing pace. This is just the heat 1 of 2 before the feature. Well, let's turn me up some. Somebody got in here and messed with the settings, so I'm having to refix them a little bit. But I think they'd rather hear the cars than my voice, so there we go. Right now we're riding with the 45 of Mark Collins as Michael Hicks has moved up into positions from where he started. Dead last, we appreciate anything whatsoever. Settings gets changed. You're right. You've got the voice for this more than I do. That's why I'm 90% behind the cameras, Richard, and you are out here being the voice. You can see Kale is coming up on Andrew Hansley or Michael Hicks trying to get around him. I think he's going to put any pressure on him. He is just going to take it nice and easy. That white flag is coming out, and I do apologize for that. Stick man, that better. Y'all should have said something, man. If you can't hear me, don't be afraid. Just don't be rude. If you can't hear you, we're deaf. Turn up your hearing aid. I got you. All right, it looks like Kel's going to take heat 1. Brad's going to take P2. Mark Collins going to round out P3. Michael Hicks P4. Andrew Hansley the 4th in P5. And Derek Welch is going to round out your top 6. So, all right. On the second heat, it's going to be just a tad smaller. We're going to have Austin Johnson. It's going to be starting up on the pole. And we're going to have Joe Roberts going to be on his outside. Josh Bittner in P3. Brian Skidmore in P4. And Gregory Turner in P5. Look, I even got Cap saying that's better. Which these races do not last long, so you better get here when the getting's good. The Rib Shack is a good place to eat up in Knoxville. And no, I'm not talking about East Tennessee, Knoxville either. All right, we're going to have a little bit smaller field on this. And yeah, you're moving to Mexico. We don't want to hear that shit because we can't go, but send pictures. This main feature after this one is going to be a 30-lap shootout. HCK is up 5-1 over NTG. They are looking to lock the series down with this race tonight. That does not mean the series is ending. They have got 5 more races to go after this one. Well, you're on water. You're on water and raining. It's all good. And it's going to be all good in the hood. On the boat. Alright, I expect to see a pretty strong battle between Austin Johnson and Joe Roberts. Both of them has been fast, but Joe on the outside. They will be watching these two for jumping the start, as both of them have a reputation for going a little too soon.
Green flag, green flag.
And that flag is dropped. They both was hesitant on who's going to go first. And it looks like Austin's going to get the jump on the inside. Slide out. Oh, and Joe Roberts has got into front. He cuts the tire, and he is going to take out the whole back of the field. That is going to get everybody involved. Gregory Turner, Brian Skidmore, and Joe Roberts. Joe Roberts looks like he has went to the pits, so he is going to take towards the end on qualifying and be starting hopefully off that qualifying time somewhere in a decent position. We've got the 12 with Austin Johnson, who is making simple work of this. There's no pressure over a 2-second gap off Josh Bittner, Gregory Turner in P3, and Brian Skidmore running out P4. Joe Roberts is in the pits. He will not be scored for this heat. Very unfortunate series of events. You can see they are running that kind of mid-line. They want to slide it up high right on the fence. Let the throttle and throw it down to the right and keep it as close to that hump as you want. If you hit that hump, it can throw your whole race off. This is not fun to be riding on that hump. Especially entering an accident in pit lane. That is a catastrophe waiting to happen if you take it at a wrong turn. I'm riding right now with Josh Bittner in Chesterfield, Pennsylvania. As you can see, Austin Johnson up ahead. But you saw us how it feels getting on that hump. White flag is going to drop down this time as Austin Johnson comes across the start finish. And the way this is going to be looking, it's going to be looking like Austin Johnson takes point. We're going to have Josh Bittner in second, Gregory Turner in third, Brian Skidmore in fourth, and Joe Robert rounding out your top five. Right, but that's going to wrap them both up. As you see the fireworks going, letting them folks know that it's fixing to get wild here. So we're going to have Mr. Kale on the pole. Austin Johnson is going to be starting in second. Brad Clay in third. Josh Bittner in fourth. Mark Collins in fifth. Gregory Turner in sixth. We're going to have Michael Hicks in seventh. Brian Skidmore in eighth. Andrew Hansley in ninth. Joe Roberts starting 10th, and Derek Welch rounding out the field of 11 tonight. Georgia boys. Right, you can even see the pace truck coming over that hump. It's a pretty good jump. Through the smoke, here comes Austin Johnson and Cale Turville. I don't want to call him Turboville, but he grows pretty quick in these sprint races. I expect to see Joe Robert make his way up towards the front pretty quick and in a hurry. He is one of the heavy hitters for NTG. Right, usually that pace truck drop off, it's going to be on Kale. Back row Joe tonight. I don't think he'll be back there too long though.
Green, green, green.
That green is dropping. Kale is off to a jump, and you see Joe Robert already making work on the outside, as he is already involved with Michael Hicks. Not the way he wanted to start out for him. Kale is up on, is moving pretty quick, and Joe Robert may be looking to be moving into the pits to get a little bit of damage fixed. And them fireworks are still going. There is no caution.
Caution turned on there?
I got towed, so I'm out of it already.
Yeah, full course caution.
Oh, we've got sound. Let's get that off. I don't hear that. Y'all heard it right there. You got full course cautions, but it does not look like it's going to apply. Joe Robert is hanging in there on the lead lap as much as he can. Actually, he just dropped one down, and you can still see Kale dominating it pretty good. Is Austin Johnson. We've got a battle brewing up right here between Mark Collins and Derek Welch, as they both are battling to get to the top five. You can see Derek is running on the high side and Collins is running on the inside. Welch is looking to make a run and try to get him set up to make a move on the inside of him, but you've got to be careful, because if you hit that hump, it's OB for you. there. Derek and Kel finally gave up their battle a little bit. Derek and Mark, my apologies, as they are gaining up off the practice here in this dirt track as he is moving up to the 5th position. We've got 20 to go. This is looking like this is pretty much going to be a killer race. But that's behind you. We've got lap traffic and Brad Clay a second behind him. Josh Bittner is about 2 seconds behind him. So lap weekend could slow it down a little bit if they do not stay hot or out of the way, shall I say. PGA supporting Steve. He's looking to make moves to the inside of Joe, who is a lap down. But I do not expect Joe to be giving up easy. About the closest battle we have got is between. Oh, and Derek Wilkes gets to the wall. Collins gets to the wall a little bit. That's going to allow Derek Wilkes to gain a little bit of momentum on him. Derek is looking to try to slide on the outside. Derek is trying his best to make that outside work as they are coming into turn 3 and 4. He has got it set just right and gets into the rear end of Collins, and that's going to slow him down, and he's going to lose some momentum and lose a little bit of time. Everything that he had worked on catching up with Collins, he just threw out the window. Hensley is back here to lose the back. Brian Skidmore, who is in the wrong position. But you've got him and Gregory Turner, who are battling it out. Yeah, surprisingly, the caution did not apply at the beginning of the race. We've got a battle now looking in between the 76 and the 84. The 76 is a lap down, and he is making it difficult for the 84 of Josh Bittner to get by. This is the point where you want your lap traffic to just go high and stay out of the way. Do not ride in the middle of the track. And do not interfere with the leaders.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, we have got Hensley is upside down. I'm not 100% sure what happened on that one. So we've got the caution out. We're going to jump back, ride with Hensley. Oh, it looks like it was actually Joe who got a little rough. It was Joe brought out that caution. As he done what we was talking about, he did hit that hump on the inside going out of pits. And that is exactly what he can do. That is a tough break for Andrew Hensley as he was in process of getting the race going in his favor. As him and Joe Roberts are back out on the track. Vehicles look good, everything looks Gucci, and they are going to roll again with 10 laps to go. As Brad Clay was tickled to death to see that caution, that's allowing him to catch up with Kale, but Kale is fast on the jump, and Kale letting it be known when he is going. And you can see Austin Johnson's trying to make a move on the outside of Josh Bittner. Bittner is not letting him get by easy as he is going to make Johnson work for that position. He told him he can have it, but he's going to have to fight for it. We've got 9 to go. We have got the battle between Bittner and Johnson, and they are going to the turn. Johnson is looking to make it on the inside, trying to edge the front tire in there, but he cannot get it in there. He's going to try it again as they're coming out, going to the turn again. He is not really working on it. He wants to see it running mid-track. Bittner is controlling that low line. Bittner is right there. Johnson almost got up right there on the edge of him, trying to get by. You can see Mark Collins is in the background. He is waiting to see if one of these two are going to mess up. We've got 6 to go. Austin gets a little loose coming out. That's going to open up the gap a little bit between him and Johnson, or him and Bittner. Made himself up on the lead lap. He is moved up to 8th position. And we are seeing with about 4 to go. This has pretty much been a KO race the whole night. Brad gets a little loose. That's going to let Josh Bittner catch a little bit more momentum on and see if he can make a move on it to take a P2 away from him. Is able to still lock it down, gaining 2 seconds of a lead. So you have got Brad Clay and Josh Bittner looking like they're going to be rounding out the P2 and 3. As you are going to see, it's pretty much where it's going to fall into position, as everybody is pretty much in and out of the track. Bringing it around to that final flag. There's Kale going to be taking the last turn. He will take the checkered. Brad Clay is going to take P2. Josh Bittner is going to take P3. Austin Johnson in P4. Mark Collins is going to take the 5th position. Derek Welch taking the 6th. Brian Skidmore 7th. Joe Robert will be 8th. Andrew Hansley the 4th will be 9th. Michael Hicks will be 10th, and Gregory Turner will round out your field of 11 for tonight. So I know Kel is happy. He's going to drop him some burnouts somewhat. He hit the hydro motion on that. That hump does not play. Alright, we are going to try right now to get Kel up here. Talk with Kale, Brad, and Josh. Hey Josh, it's Jeremy up here, bud. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, man, you took away a P3. You almost had Clay on a couple turns. It looks like you may have went in a little too fast and got into the rear end of them almost, but you eased out. Like, you think that's what cost you that P2 position?
I don't know how much damage I had on my car, but earlier on that one lapped car, yeah, he went right up into me and cleaned me out from 2 lanes down on the track. I'd be interested to see if that didn't happen. If I might have had more speed in me, but I was hanging with them with at least him at the end there. Kale really ran away with it. He really has this track down, but no, it was fun.
Well, that hump on the inside, we normally see Joe Robert up there in the front. He got involved in a little bit and stayed towards the back. Was he a worry for you here at this track since he's one of the power horses over in NTG?
Yeah, he had a bad deal on lap one. You know, I when the guy that's been the three other races I've done, I think he's beaten me every time, and you know we're on the same team with NTG. I knew I needed to do a little bit better, so instead of finishing fourth like I have done every other race, I guess a third place kind of helps.
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you what. Next week, let me double check it where we're at before I say it. Are you getting comfortable with your dirt driving?
Oh yeah,
Find where we're at next week. Get your opinion on it. We're gonna be at Limeland, I believe. So, how are you feeling over there?
love Lima Land. There's a couple different lanes you can do. You rip the top, the bottom, but should be a clean track. So I like racing, especially when the I think it's the D fixed the 305s official races go there. I love racing that track. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like you've got a little bit of experience and maybe a heads up that will play in your favor for next week.
Here's hoping. I need some kind of edge over these Beagles guys. They've been kicking my butt every week.
Well, tonight you kind of returned the favor somewhat.
Yeah, yeah, and just getting better as it goes along. I've had a lot of fun. So props to Derek and Gregory for putting this on. It's been a lot of fun doing this, and nice change of pace compared to what I normally been doing.
Brother, I'm going to let you give you a couple of shout outs that we're going to get up there with the other two.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to thank you for putting this on. Again, Derek and Gregory, those guys do a lot of hard work for their leagues, and just to have this kind of like back and forth battle uh, between the two leagues has been really cool to be a part of. And shout out to my girlfriend Peyton and her dog Juniper that was on the Cars wing this week and got a little bit better. But looking forward to Lima Land though next week.
Well, all right, brother. Go down there and celebrate with Derek and them, as I know they're happy with your finish.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Probably sent them to the wrong chat. But right now we got Mr. Brad Clay up here. He made his way into the Discord. He started second, stayed second, and watched Kale pretty much the whole race. Brad, how you feel tonight after that race tonight?
And not too bad. I mean that that one lap car in the beginning of the race kind of got me, and I couldn't keep up. And then that caution came out, and I took the wrong line.
Well, how do you feel about Limeland? Is that a better track for you?
I haven't raced Limaland in quite a few months. I know it's a tight track. I think it'll be more user friendly. I mean, it's not a whoever qualifies in the poll, I mean, is going to win the race. So it could be anybody's game that race.
Well, was you worried about anybody out there other than Kale and Josh, or was you pretty much for sure you started in second? You was going to be able to pretty much lock down P2 tonight.
I was worried about Austin Johnson for a minute. I mean, he got me in qualifying before Kale came on. I was a little concerned about him.
Well, you gave a pretty good help for HCK on this one, so the floor is yours with that P2, brother. Give your shout outs.
I guess just like to thank the girlfriend for not yelling at me tonight for racing. That's about all I got.
That's always the best one. Stay out of the doghouse.
Absolutely.
Well, all right, man. We'll cut you on out so you can tend to her so you don't get beat down and we can see you next week.
Yes, sir. We'll see you next week.
Well, the race winner, he's done it again. He's back up here. He's got the accent further than mine. Got Mr. Kale. You pulled it off tonight. Once again, you got another win. Is there any dirt tracks you're no good at?
Last week at Lanier, or whichever one it was, Lanier is my worst.
Well, you set the pole and you pretty much never looked back. You and Joe Robert usually have a pretty good battle, but was you a little let down that he wasn't up there to battle with you like normal?
Well, yeah, it did get a little boring, to be honest, and I was kind of upset at how the start unfolded. I saw a big old mess happen behind me, so I wish it would have been a little more racy, but I ain't complaining about it.
You'll take another strike in that win column, won't you?
I sure will any day.
Well, what about Limeland? We're there next week. How you feel on that one?
Uh, I can't really tell you in sprint cars. I normally love it in the late models, but I couldn't tell you the last time I raced sprint cars there. So we'll find out.
We're gonna let you put in your practice, and the shout outs are yours, brothers, once again.
Well, I want to thank you for doing a great job announcing. HCK and Numb Thumbs for putting it on. My mama, my daddy, my sister, Mr. Chase Peacock, Mr. Huey Davis, Hurricane Creek Racing, and Andy Dixon, and thank you.
Well, you've got a whole lot better of these interviews from when we started, so I figure in the next couple races you're gonna be about taking my job from me, so that will work for me.
We'll find out.
Well, all right, Cal, man. Congratulations on the win. Gonna send you back down to your HCK buds, and that is probably gonna wrap it up for the night. As next week, like we said, we are taking it to Limeland, and it is going to be interesting to see how the scorecard plays out after this. So check out the Numb Thumbs Gaming on Facebook and the HCK Beagles Racing League on Facebook. If you want to get into it, contact Derek Welch, Gregory Turner on Facebook or Discord. And we will see y'all back Sunday night for the Numb Thumbs Racing League Truck Series. Yeah, everybody, be safe.
I want the real stuff, everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once, I'm gonna show you all the path. If you want it bad, I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back, yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one, working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah, rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun, shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I fall, yeah, always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing, never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it, never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving, yeah, I put out all the stars, it's my own